So David Wilcox. What happened to David Wilcox? David Wilcox got divorced. He lost his house. He gave a fake aerospace company that has no planes, never produced anything. They have a hangar. They have junk inside of there. He gave them $2 million. He got swindled out of it, believing they were going to do something. Lost his ass, lost his wife, and was also never fully free from Corey Goode. Corey Goode and his bullshit ass story that he made up about the secret space program going into the inner earth. All this bullshit was trash. Was not real. He didn't channel shit. He made it up like a freaking fan fiction. And he took that motherfucker for a ride because he was a fucking sociopathic narcissist. And if you don't give them their way, they're mean to you and they're petty. And they're hateful. And he was persuaded to leave Gaia, which was his identity. And it makes sense. You know? He was a good presenter, but he wasn't all that smart on his own. He probably did believe he was Edgar Casey. Who was great. He just happened to look like a little bit. Had none of the fucking shit going on Edgar Casey did. He didn't channel shit. He would find these inside sources. Well, his inside sources fucked his mind. They fucked his mind. And he killed himself. Can he be considered the 13th scientist? He was not a scientist at all. But in a way, he does fit. For me, he fits in the group of the people because they're all working towards the same goal at least. Those people actually were working on the stuff. He was trying to get it out because he believed in the aliens, in the different shit, but he brought so much bullshit that was just made up trash to the UFO community that he became a laughingstock. And mostly David fucking Goode, Corey Goode, David Goode. Trying to merge them together. That's what happened to him. And it's sad, you know, because yeah, he was mentally ill and he didn't have a support structure of anybody to pull him out of that. And I listened to Cliff High, and he told him about a guy who in the 1800s went on this tour along the East Coast and told all these tall tales about out west, made a bunch of money, and then something happened to him and he had a dark night of the soul sort of thing because he was a liar and a swindler, and he had this dark night of the soul occurrence occur to him, and he started going back and doing presentations and just telling the people of how he had swindled them, made up all this stuff, and turned his life around, and kind of died respectfully with a little bit of change, you know. And Cliff High reached out to him and tried to get him on a path where he could restore his name, his honor. And he didn't want to do it. He still had Corey Good fucking with his mind. You know? And I believe it. I believe that story. It resonates. It does. And Corey Good's a piece of shit. He really is. If you listen to the people that have analyzed some of the shit he says, what he does, total narcissistic behavior. You know? There's like a 10% of the population is a psychopathic narcissist, and they don't give a fuck who they hurt, what they do. They don't care. They don't care at all. You know? And I've had to deal with that in my life, and it's painful because somebody will just try to fuck you over and bring you pain when you don't deserve it at all, to make you hurt, whether it's by design or they just don't have any personal use to get anything from you, so they just completely leave you out in the cold, you know, with no reason at all. I feel the same thing with my ex because I had such a good time with her, and I saw her, was able to communicate well, and it stirred up all that past emotion in me of all the shit I've been through with her, all the fucked up shit, you know. And when I encountered her, I didn't feel any of that. I was able to be courteous, nice, loving. Wasn't interested in controlling what she did. Didn't care. She live her life, do whatever she wants. But I still had that open love to, if I could make it, if I could get my shit put together, I would still want to have her and be in my life, because it was somebody that I knew from so far back that we had been through so much shit and had kids. You know, I sent a bunch of stuff with her for my son because he's doing metalworking, and he's not even said a word. He didn't say thank you. You know, all stuff he would want to use for what he's doing. And I have to realize that woman hasn't even taken the time to teach this boy that the right thing to do would be like, say, hey, thanks for this stuff. And I had some other stuff, like a torch set he could have and use. Didn't say a fucking word. Didn't say a word. Didn't text nothing. You know, he could have came. But, you know, think about it. Think about the psychology of somebody that, you know, when somebody does something for me, I tell him thank you and I appreciate it. You know, he could be mad at me, but he's still mad for the wrong reasons, behind lies. You know, and the fact that she would have to leave that position that she's dug into with me being such a bad guy, that's so bad that she still came and spent the time, but can't operate on two premises. You know, you can't hold the front where I'm the bad guy and, you know, also know that I'm good and come and experience fucking a nice time with me. You know, it would be healthy to integrate. It just doesn't want to do it. Just doesn't want to do it. Yeah, it stirred up my shit having that experience, but I dusted it off, and I'm like, you know, when I see you, when I talk to you, I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I feel the love that I had for the woman that I married. I'm like, but then, you know, you go all these days now and now you're not going to say anything. You're going to be just as cold as you used to be. I was like, that makes me hate you now. It really does. It's like, and it's unnatural. I was like, because were the situation reversed, I don't have the hate to be able to do that to you. I wouldn't want to do it. You know, I could just talk to you every once in a while, say hi, how are you doing today? What's going on? Wouldn't be the level of anger that it just brings me back to. Because I feel like I'm being fucked with by somebody that doesn't have a soul, doesn't care, has definitely done me fucking severe harm, and then has the fucking audacity just to do it again. You know? When basically I just want to have communication so I know what's going on with my son, and I could be in a better place to communicate with him whenever he gets ready. And his mind's so fucked up by it that I have no idea what the fuck he thinks, other than I know that events had occurred and she's told a completely different story that didn't even happen. So bad, so much so and bad that like a whole period of time, like some shit that happened in 2007, she's got on the stand and testified like it happened in 2011 when it did not even close. You know, completely lied. Got up there and just lied on me, you know, and went with a story. And they had so many people, so many cops that testified, and all these cops ran into my house outside of their jurisdiction and tasered me while I was on the floor asleep, and then charged me with attacking them, because they have to do that. They have to say you did something to tase you. So they're already giving me other charges while violating my fucking rights. That's the side that she picked to go with, and just got on the stand and testified. And that's not all. You know, the motherfucker, when they would cheat, the motherfucker went and cheated with a pedophile. You know? So I'm just totally disgusted by the person. You know? You're a woman, and you don't take any care to your psychic senses to know that the person you're messing with is a fucking pedophile. And you try to go and tell stories on you try to lie and tell stories on your husband and try to get him in trouble and try to make accusations on him about shit like that while you're fucking a pedophile, somebody that's a child molester, and you're not even able to pick that up in your energy. And almost every time the motherfucker cheated, it was with some sort of fucking piece of shit like that was either fucking somebody over, doing something fucked up, you know. That's who you're serving. That's your master. That's what I feel about these people. I feel the same about her right now, because I'm just disgusted by the treatment. Like, you know, you're not even careful enough with your fucking sensuality to be able to pick that energy up when everybody else knew it. Everybody knew it about that person. It's just fucking sickening. It makes me sick. Oh shit. What? Did somebody invite you over here to come? No? No. The heat is on. I'm just not feeling it today. I'm not. You know? It's shitty that we have people in the world like this You know, you open up yourself and you have a good heart, but you don't have everything that is necessary to put it together in this world. It's very difficult now. The resources are fucking getting slimmed. We have the attack of the fucking controllers. They're trying to control the world. You know, while losing their grip. And we all have to stick together and help each other out. You know? And there's always something that you can do. There's something that you can do and contribute no matter what or who you are. You have a skill, you have a goal, you know, and you just want to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved. They don't want to be little. Don't want to be belittled. They don't want to be betrayed. And it's just that simple. And in the moment when it's the most difficult, you decide you're going to stab somebody in the back, or you're going to abandon them, or you're going to isolate them, or ghost them. You know, when your default response is to do that, there's something wrong with you. For real. There's something wrong with you, because there's no reason in the world to do that. You know? And I know personally that you don't have to be overwhelmed with someone who's wronged you. You can do your own personal work and encounter them and be genuinely loving if you have the love. If you have the love. And it'll put you in a place where you'll want to be supportive, you'll want to communicate, and you'll make every attempt to do that and sustain it if, in fact, you have it in you to do it. But those people that don't, they don't really have the love, they don't really have what it takes, they're going to take from you, and they're not going to be there for you at all. In the communicating, you're going to see that they're just not there. They're just not there. Because if they can't take from you, they don't have anything to give. And that's just the sad reality of this world. Because like we're in a war for our souls and our lives by a system that's just predated upon us for so long, and it's trying to change because people are waking up. That's all I wanted to say, because it was extremely fucked up, the whole situation, and I felt a little bit of it I identified with. Have a nice day.